Hello everyone and welcome back to the Foreplay channel. I'm Bella.
I'm Jace.
Today's episode is all about a review and our experience at Naughty Nawlins in 2025.
And what Naughty Nawlins is, it is a lifestyle convention. It is for just open-minded, spicy type people. You do not have to be a swinger. You can be any type of open relationship structure or just a person who has more of a spicy taste with you and your own partner. And so it's open to all the different people, and it is every single summer. It's usually around July or late June, and it happens in New Orleans, Louisiana.
This year we did have a group that came with us. They were part of the Foreplay group, and if you guys want to come to a future Naughty Nawlins, we also will be there next year. Next year is going to be July 8th through 12th in 2026, so we will be there. If you guys want to come with the group, we do extra activities. We do a private group meetup where we play games and get to know each other more, and then we also hand make a goodie bag, and then we give that out too. So if you guys want to join a group next year, you can go to foreplay.com/nawlins. That's the number 4OURPLAY.com/NAWLINS, and you can join us next year. It doesn't cost you any extra. It just helps us out a ton. It helps us be able to continue to make content like this and cultivate this awesome community. And so hopefully we'll see you there next year.
So we'll start with demographic. It is around your normal lifestyle demographic. It's that 40 to 55, but we did notice a lot of people in their 30s and younger, and we also notice people in their 60s and older. So it's a really good group of people, but it is that 40 to 55 as the main demographic. We feel like people here are so friendly, so kind. It also is a very, very good looking group of people, and kind of like the cruises, we feel like you see the same faces over and over. So this is our second year at Naughty, and we saw a lot of people that we saw the first year. So it's really awesome. The more years you go, you kind of make those friendships, those years, and they grow and grow, and you see familiar faces every single time you go.
This year felt even a little bit younger to us than it did last year. And like Jay said, we do feel like there was a very attractive crowd this year around as well. As this is a convention, it's spread over a couple hotels. This year it was at the Astor, and usually that is the main hotel that all of the parties and all of the workshops and all of the activities are at. And then there's also a secondary hotel. Typically it's been at the Nopsy. This could change in the future. And the Nopsy is where there are more rooms and also other activities. This year it was more of the dungeon and kink activities were held there. But again, that could change next year, but that's what it was like this year. In addition to that, there are also other overflow hotels. So there's usually about 3,500 people who attend this event. So it is a huge event, lots and lots of people, which we love. And the overflow hotels are always walking distance as well as the Nopsy. So this year, one of the overflow hotels was the Saint, and it was just right down the street from the Astor Hotel. We had friends that stayed there and said it was really nice. We've stayed at the Nopsy before, and that's really, really nice as well. We'll go into more details about the different hotels as we go into the activities section, but we wanted to give an overview of what to expect and where you're going to be staying.
So ticketing wise, you are going to pay for your hotel as well as your ticket to the event. You can do day passes, but we know those run out. If you guys do want more information about the ticketing, go to foreplay.com/nawlins. We'll have it linked down below as well, but that way you can kind of see exactly how all of that breaks down and what those prices look like.
When you buy your ticket, that's part of the package, you're going to get a badge, and that goes if you get a day pass as well. You're going to get that badge, and that badge is the key to everywhere. So you're going to want to always have that badge on you for any of the parties that you go to, any of the hotels that you're going to step into that have activities there. They're going to check to see if you have the badge. So make sure you keep that on you at all times. And if you are wanting to stay in one of the main hotels, if you're wanting to stay at the Astor and then most likely going to be the Nopsy next year, make sure you're booking early because those hotel rooms will sell out. People also always wonder if this is a completely clothing optional event, and it is not completely clothing optional. There are times where you can be topless optional at the pool parties depending on which one it is, but you can't just walk around topless or naked around the hotel or anything like that.
So how everything is organized, like Bella said earlier, it's at two main hotels, and that is where everything kind of happens, is at those two main hotels. Both hotels have activities during the daytime as well as the nighttime. The Astor is the hotel that is going to be more of your main events, and so you're going to have your largest amount of classes there. In the evenings, that is where the main parties are going to be, and so that is kind of the hotel, I would say, is a little bit more busy, but both hotels have a ton going on all the time. There is a pool where they kind of do chill pool parties at the Astor. I would say the Nopsy Hotel pool is a little bit nicer, but both hotels are nice overall, and the Astor does have a pool, but it's more that chill stuff during the daytime. And we will get into playrooms now, because I know that's also one thing that people always wonder about and are very curious about, and I would have to say that Naughty probably has the best playrooms that we have ever seen. It is a whole floor on the Astor Hotel, and it is massive. I mean, there is so many rooms, and what is really cool is that they have a lot of different rooms that maybe play to different senses or have different groupings. So there was a crystal room, which was just one of the most beautiful playrooms I've ever seen. They have a bi playroom. They have a dark playroom, and that one's crazy. Like, you literally walk in and it is pitch black. There's semi-private rooms and +1 rooms. There is toy rooms that have a bunch of different toys in there that are able to be used. There's a massive red room that has just so many beds together. There's a room that has all these tapestries this year. There is pretty much any kind of playroom that you could be looking for in the lifestyle. They have it at the Astor. And so if you're a big playroom person, we so highly recommend Naughty because it is so cool. They also have a ton of people working, and that way, you know, things are getting changed. People are monitoring just to make sure everything is going smoothly, and the staff is wonderful overall in there, so the playrooms are incredible. They also have all of your essentials like water, they have towels, protection, so they really do a great job. They also even have some bags that you can put your clothes on because you just cannot walk through in street clothes. So at the front, they have a little area that you can even use bags to put your street clothes in and switch into your lingerie or something like that when you're going back to the playrooms. But overall, wonderful playrooms.
They're also very strict about that, so they don't want you walking around just in your normal party clothes. With women, it's a little bit different because usually our theme outfits are more risque to begin with, unless you're like Jace.
I get in.
Jace
I don't have to change to get in.
His theme outfits are also pretty risque, so they like basically look like lingerie. So if your outfit and your theme outfit is more like that, you're able to just kind of go in. But if you're wearing more normal clothes or your theme outfit is more of like pants and a shirt, they're gonna want you to change. There's also a dungeon, and I know that's part of the playrooms, but it was actually at the Nopsey Hotel. It was really cool this year because all of the dungeon and BDSM and kink stuff was at the Nopsey Hotel. So if you're more into that scene, it was all in one area for you. We'll talk more about the Nopsey Hotel a little bit later on, but we wanted to tack on this dungeon part into the playroom section. And so the dungeon was humongous. It was the area last year that was where the main party was at the Nopsey Hotel. And so this year, the entire room, which was like a huge, not a conference room, it was like a banquet room, was a dungeon. And they had all of the different equipment that you would need. They had people in there doing shibari. They had many, many scenes going on, and you were able to go in and either watch or perform your own scenes. There was an aftercare room, so like right outside of it you can go in. They had like these huge soft bean bags, and it was really, really amazing. And they also had, you know, water and all of your basic necessities like that. Also in the dungeon there were all of the different toys that you could want to play and try. So it was really cool how this year there were already so many playrooms at the Astor, and then in addition to that there was even bigger of a dungeon than there was last year.
So at the Astor, that is where the two main parties were. So they kind of switched it from last year where they would have the Nopsey party as well as the Astor party. This year the main parties were both at the Astor at night. We kind of liked that because it gave that space for the dungeon to be all of that dungeon and kinky space, whereas the Astor was more the main parties. And so I think it kind of made them a little bit busier and a little bit more fun overall in our opinion. And so there was a couple different rooms. There was the main party room. They had a DJ that played a bunch of just different types of music, as well as an EDM room. The EDM room stuck more to that EDM music, but also had a DJ. Both of the parties started at 9 o'clock. We feel like around that 10 to 10:30 time is when it started to get a little bit more busy though. And then the actual main party, I feel like died off a little bit earlier, whereas the EDM party tended to go a little bit later. And there was a bunch of other activities going on around this time. So we'll get more into some of the activities later. But so if you didn't want to go to the main two parties, there was also other things that you could do at the hotel as well. And then something really cool this year was the speakeasy. And so basically what they did was there was an area that no one knew where it was, but if you asked around, people would tell you. The location wasn't listed on the schedule, so it was kind of a fun way to have to make some connections, talk to some people. Everyone by the end knew where it was, but you could ask, someone would direct you to it. But it was basically a suite on one of the floors, and they had converted it into an area where there was a DJ, a dance floor, there was a few areas to sit, but usually whenever the parties kind of started to die down, the speakeasy got busy, and so those parties went really late. And because that was a hotel suite, it wasn't quite as big, so even though it wasn't as busy as the parties earlier in the day, it still felt really busy because you kind of had that tighter knit space, and we really enjoyed the speakeasy overall.
Timing wise, the main parties usually died out more around like 11:30-ish. And so from there, people would go either to the playrooms, or maybe they would go to the dungeon, or they would kind of work their way up to the speakeasy. And so the busiest times at the playroom was around 11:30 to 1:30. I believe they closed at 2 o'clock this year. It's also really cool because since it is in New Orleans at the Astor, you could kind of just walk right outside of where the main party was onto this balcony. So when you go out onto the balcony, it's overlooking Bourbon Street. And so it was really cool just to kind of look out and kind of see everybody. And the environment and the vibe was just really fun being in New Orleans and being so close to Bourbon Street. In addition to the main night parties, there's also a ton of different parties on Bourbon Street throughout the day. And so these will be at different locations, different bars that are taken over. And again, you're going to need your badge to get into those bars. And again, they're very strict about that. They only allow people who are Naughty Nawlins attendees to go to these bar and club takeovers on Bourbon Street. And again, like I was saying, how it was really cool that you're really immersed in New Orleans. We really like that they have these takeovers that you're able to go and party at, and you get outside of the hotel. And Bob, who is one of the main owners and creators of Naughty Nawlins, that was a big thing that he wanted, where he explained that if you just wanted a hotel takeover, you could do that, you know, in the middle of nowhere, and then you're just staying in the hotel, which is cool. But when you're in a city where you want to be like immersed in the city, and you're able to go and experience different parts of that city, and there's so much culture, so much food, so much to do in general in New Orleans, you're able to step, if you want to, outside of the lifestyle atmosphere and go explore New Orleans. And also, whenever you're in New Orleans and going on Bourbon Street, and you're able to also do those lifestyle activities, we really like how you're able to go to those clubs and experience that, not just being stuck inside a hotel.
And the parties are awesome because, like Bella said, you get to see a bunch of different cool, famous bars that are on Bourbon Street, and you're with your people, and they do different things at them. Some do, you know, maybe it's giveaways to a resort, or maybe some just do different contests where they give away prizes, some give away free swag. And so there's always fun stuff going on. There was foam parties at one, and there's just a ton of different themes and ideas for these parties. And so they're all really cool, and it's a cool thing to be able to have something to do during the middle of the day.
With it being at different clubs, it's really neat. One time there was a party at the Hustler Club, and then down the street they also have a Hustler store, and inside the Hustler store there was a Naughty Nawlins like setup where you could take pictures, and they had all of these signs that said stuff about like ethical non-monogamy, and they had upside down pineapples. So it's really cool to see even the other like stores and all like the local places working with Naughty Nawlins. So I think that was really cool. The foam party that Jace mentioned earlier was so fun. I wish we would have been able to actually get into the foam, but we had plans to go do a playroom tour like an hour later, so we didn't want to go in there and like get all foamed up and like wet and everything. But it was actually like raining, and it was a really cool atmosphere. Like the vibe was really awesome. You wouldn't think that it would be fun because it was raining, but actually I think it added to the foam party. We saw so many people in the foam pit. It was like almost like an atrium area like in that club, yeah. And there was like a balcony kind of like around it, but you can like look over and see everybody in the middle of the foam and everything. There was so much foam. It was really fun.
And it goes to show like how awesome the people are at this event, that even if maybe you're having bad weather, people still make the best of it and just have an amazing time. And I think that just goes to show, like we said earlier, the crowd at Naughty is so good and so much fun. Colette is also a club that has multiple locations, but I think it was their first one was actually in New Orleans. And so Colette and Naughty work together, and they kind of go hand in hand. And so a lot of people will go to Colette in the evening. And so they have parties all throughout the week. And there's a couple days that you can even go for free if you have your badge. And then later in the week, you're going to pay to go to those parties at Colette. But that's a really cool way also to go and see kind of a different environment, a different club. At Colette, you do not have to have a badge though. And so you will have people who are just visiting New Orleans or coming to Colette for that weekend that will also be there. So you can also meet some people who are maybe not from the actual convention itself. So it's a really cool option as well.
Lastly, party-wise, there are pool parties as well. So there's so much to do. Make sure you go into Naughty Nawlins knowing that it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to be able to get to everything. You're probably going to get FOMO. Try not to. Just know know that there are a lot of things going on and you're not going to be able to make it to everything, but the ones that you do make it to, make the best out of it. So there are lots of pool parties. There's some at the Astor and some at the Nopsey. We will say the ones at the Nopsey are a lot more lively and they're really, really fun. Like Jace mentioned earlier, the Astor does have a pool, but it is a lot more chill. So if you're wanting an upbeat, fun, topless pool party, definitely go to the Nopsey. And it's really cool because it's like up on the rooftop as well. So it's a really cool vibe up there. When it comes to accommodations, there are again the two main hotels this year was the Astor and the Nopsey, and then the overflow hotels. We'll touch on the Astor and the Nopsey because we've stayed at both of those before. If you're wanting to be where all of the activities are, like a majority of the activities, you're going to want to stay at the Astor. And if you're wanting it to be a more chill, but overall, I would say a bit more luxurious, it's just like nicer, then you'll want to stay at the Nopsey. The two hotels are about an 8-minute walk from each other, and they do have shuttles that are complimentary that you can take in between, but you do just have to wait a little bit for them. So it's like if you want to get there right whenever you leave the hotel and you don't want to wait, it's just an 8-minute walk. It's really not too bad. At the Astor, it is a very, very, very big hotel. There are basically two different wings. And so there's the main tower, which is connected to like the party area, the banquet hall, all of the vendors are there. And then there's kind of like the side tower that is a bit quieter, but you're gonna have to walk a little bit further just to get to the main areas.
All of the hotels are really nice. I don't believe that you're gonna stay at one of the hotels and not enjoy it. So we stayed at both now and they are both great. I said our friends stayed at some of the overflow hotels, said they were awesome as well. And so really you can go to either hotel. Like Bella said, if you're looking for certain things, maybe staying at one is better than the other. But as far as accommodation wise, overall, we think they're both really nice hotels and we've enjoyed our stays when we stayed at both of them.
We did have an issue at our hotel room in the Astor because it didn't have a refrigerator or like a cooler, and then some of the rooms had them, and then I guess either they ran out or we got told different times when we asked that, oh, like your tower doesn't allow you to have them, and then we would call back because someone else on our floor had one, and we were like, what? And then I think they just ran out. I don't really know, but if you really need a refrigerator, just make sure that you are calling beforehand and making sure you're getting put in a room that has one. Like we just needed it for like our sandwich stuff, but if you had like medications or anything like that that needed to be refrigerated, we were just surprised that there wasn't a cooler refrigerator in there. With it being like a hotel, usually they have those, so that's just something to keep in mind.
We are going to talk about theme nights, and they are really fun overall. I feel like a large majority of people do dress up on theme at Naughty. I'm going to read these themes so I make sure I do not miss them. We had a circus theme erotic ball, a kink theme erotic ball, running of the bulls theme erotic ball, and a Mardi Gras masquerade themed ball. In the past, I had seen some daytime themes, but I didn't see any daytime themes this year, but all of the parties were really fun. I said some of those are different themes, like we don't see the running of the bulls. I've never seen that before. And I also love that they have the Mardi Gras theme since you were in New Orleans. And so it's really fun to dress up on theme. I said a lot of people do. You don't have to be elaborate. You know, you could do something like a t-shirt. You could do any really scale of whatever you want to do. Do know if you do not want to dress up on theme, you are not going to feel out of place. It is not something you need to do, but it is something fun that you can do in addition if you like to dress up on theme.
This is a convention and it's not an all-inclusive type vacation, so you're not going to be including food. So all of the food you are going to need to get yourselves, and it's really cool because again, you're in New Orleans, so you're able to experience a lot of cultural foods, or I mean, you can just leave the hotel or you can order food if you want to. We do want to give some recommendations of our favorite places to get amazing food in New Orleans. One of them we just found this year, and it's right down the street from the Astor. It's like right across the street. It's like maybe a 3-minute walk. It's called Gallier's Oyster Bar, and we didn't even get oysters there. We're not big oyster people, but we got gumbo, we got po' boys there, and it is like the best bread you like will ever eat. It's so garlicky and buttery, and it was so good. We ate there twice. We also love Mother's. That is a staple whenever we go for that comforting southern New Orleans type food. It's so flavorful and it's so good. Another place we went to was called Keys Fried Chicken, and it's actually located inside a gas station. That's not walkable. Well, I mean, it is walkable, but it's kind of far. It's like a mile, maybe a mile mile and a half away from the Astor Hotel, but it is the best fried chicken we have ever had in our lives. Like, it was so, so, so good. And the fact that it was like right inside a gas station is like incredible. It's so flavorful and it's so crunchy. Like, the outside is so crispy. Crunchy is not the right word. Crispy is the word. And the chicken was like dripping. It was delicious. We heard of that from Josh Weissman.
My mouth is actually watering, like thinking about it. Is so good.
So although your food isn't included in your package, you get so many different options to go get amazing food. And of course they have like your typical, you know, like a commercial
restaurants.
Commercial restaurants and things like that.
And you can they do pizza at, I think it's midnight every single night. They had Domino's delivered. So the pizza does go fast because there's a bunch of people in there. So if you want pizza at midnight, we'd recommend getting there at midnight. But that is an option for some food that is included if you want to go grab a slice of pizza at midnight.
They had some hors d'oeuvres and like little bites as well at the Nopsey Hotel. We didn't get there in time because we were too early, and so they didn't put it out yet. So we didn't see what kinds of foods were there this year. But I remember last year they had really, really good like of those mini bites at the Nopsey Hotel. They also had a couple specialty dining activities that you could purchase tickets to beforehand. And Naughty Nolans is going to send out an email with whatever food activities that they have. For example, they had something called a fetish feast. And so you'll buy the ticket there and you're going to be able to get dinner, or sometimes they have it as a brunch. And so just depending on what kind of food, it's going to have like a whole menu for you to be able to know what's going to be there. And then they'll have either like a little show or activities. We had some friends that went to the fetish feast and they said that it was fun and they really liked it. When it comes to alcohol, again, it is not included. This isn't an all-inclusive type of vacation. But in the main parties, they had bars all around, so you can go and you can buy your drinks there. You would buy a ticket, and then that ticket is going to be able to be exchanged for a drink. And then of course there's all of the different bars on Bourbon Street, and in New Orleans you can take your drink to go. That was crazy to us too, because we went to like a restaurant and then Jace jokingly, because we had to order, basically we had like a lot of extra like funds that we had to spend, and so everyone got drinks, and then it was right at the end where we were gonna leave and Jace couldn't finish his drink and he was like, haha, can I take this to go? And then the waiter was like, yeah, actually you can.
And they had legitimate cups that said to go on them for the alcohol. And I walked down Bourbon Street, walked into the Hustler store, and just enjoyed my drink on the way back to the Astor.
And you can't bring your own drinks up to the party area. They don't allow you to do that. And so just make sure you keep that in mind. Although it is at hotels, if you wanted to like pregame in your own hotel room, or if you wanted to, if you're at the party and then you brought your own alcohol and you wanted to go down to your room, take a drink or a shot or whatever you want to do and then go back up, that is an option as well. Just know that you can't bring your own drinks up to the party area. Also in the playrooms, you can't bring your drinks in there either.
So now we are going to get into the activities. This is a large amount, and so we're going to do our best to cover everything we can. The good thing to know is everything was in an app, and that way you were able to check your schedule, you were able to like things that you wanted to go to, and that way you could kind of look at the schedule that you wanted to make. Like Bella said, it's very marathon, not a sprint. So it was really nice having the app to see everything that was going on. So in the morning we would go through, we'd plan out our day, say we want to do this, this, and this. So we knew we had enough energy to do all the stuff that we wanted to do. And so the app was super useful. You were able to search through it. It was very, very nice and easy and straightforward. So that really, really helps. But we'll get into the activities now. We're going to start with the vendor booths. We had a booth there this year. Last year we were actually doing vending. This year we just left some free little stickers out and some mints, and people could walk by. And there's a ton of different stuff on this vendor floor. So you're going to have all of your different resorts and places like that have vendor booths. You're going to have a bunch of just adult companies that have vendor booths, as well as a bunch of things that are being sold, from corsets to lifestyle, different shirts and hats, and really any lifestyle type kind of stuff you are searching for, they are selling it at these vendor booths. And so it is a great place just to walk through, see all the fun stuff that is going on, meet some of these vendors. A lot of them are small business owners just making really cool, neat things. And so that's a really cool area to walk through that they have not only at the Astor, but the Nopsey as well. The Nopsey one is more kink themed. And so you have a lot of all of your BDSM type gear and all of that, and it is so cool.
It was really cool talking to the owners of these vending booths as well, because a lot of the stuff was handmade. And we talked to one of the owners and they made the like floggers, and everything being handcrafted, maybe not every single thing, but the things that were like handcrafted, I just think are so, so, so cool. And so just like walking by and, you know, getting things if you wanted to, or even just enjoying looking at them, it was just really cool to walk around and see everything.
Next thing that goes on for activities is the classes. There is so many different classes. We taught a class this year on kind of how to make a spicy environment while traveling, which was super fun. That was our first class we've ever taught at Naughty, but there is so many different classes covering so many different topics. It's also pretty cool because like how other things are kind of split between the Nopsy and the Aster, more of your kink themed classes were going to be over at the Nopsy, where a lot of your other classes were going to be at the Aster, and that was all in the app as well, but you could see what classes were going on. We'd also recommend for looking up classes to go and look at previous year's Naughty schedules to kind of get an idea just of what kind of classes they have. They're going to be different every year, and so that's always going to change a little bit, but that will kind of give you an idea of what kind of classes are taught at these events. And you can check out some of those old schedules on Naughty's website.
Some of the classes aren't just seminars too, like it's not always just people at the very front just talking. There are some that are panels, there are some that are more, I guess, of an open format. And so that's really cool. There's lots of different types of workshops. There are some that are more hands-on. There's some that's more straightforward. And so it's really cool to be able to see and attend and learn so much. There's so much to do. There's so much that you could learn.
And one thing that's really cool about Naughty is they even have things for people that are like in the lifestyle space and industry. And so their classes are going to range from people who are just starting off in their lifestyle journey, who don't know very much yet, all the way to people like me and Bella who are in this space full-time working. They have classes for everybody. So no matter where you are in your lifestyle journey, you are going to be able to find things that are interesting and be able to learn and make those connections. And we really, really love that about Naughty and Nawlins.
They also had activities like bracelet making. They had different arts and crafts kind of activities. They had a name necklace making time that you could go in. Last year, I know that they had a poster making sign time that you could go and you can do that. We made our own posters from home this year that we were able to bring, so we didn't go to that one this year. But they have so many different things that you can do, and it's so fun, and it's just like all included. It's so cool. There are also different meet and greets. There's different speed dating. There was a naked speed dating. They had scavenger hunt games. There was a comedy show. There's just so much to do. And again, just go and look up previous years' schedules. You can kind of get more of an idea. We're not going to be able to list everything. We're just trying to get a overall view of the kind of different things that are available.
And the activity that I think is our favorite activity, maybe one of our favorite activities in the lifestyle, is the Sexual Freedom Parade. This year it was on Bourbon Street, and what it is basically they have a police escort and you walk down Bourbon Street celebrating being who we are. And it's so neat to see the general public sitting next to the side. We brought some little like flags to give out. Our said Love Without Limits, which was so fun. Some other people gave out some little flags, but you see people on the side of the road just kind of sitting and cheering as we walk by, as well as anybody who wants to go and walk in this parade. You are able to do that. I said you can wear masks because there is videos and stuff going on during this parade. So if you don't want to have people know your identity, you could wear a mask or anything like that, or you can stand on the side and watch the parade. You can do whatever you want to do, but it is such a cool event. I have goosebumps literally thinking about this event because it feels so special. And to be able to walk down Bourbon Street in a parade with floats, people throwing out beads, and doing the New Orleans things, but celebrating non-monogamy and open relationship structures in a public place just feels so like, it feels like you have visibility, and it feels so special, and it truly is amazing. So if you go to Naughty and you have the chance, we'd highly recommend going to the Sexual Freedom Parade because it is one of the coolest things that happens at the event.
Music-wise, we thought it was awesome. There was the EDM room, so if you wanted more of that dance, techno, EDM kind of music, you can definitely go there. And then there was also the main party that had more of your like top hits, that kind of thing, and you can go back and forth between them, so that's really awesome. They also had live bands, so if that is your thing, they have some performances from live bands doing live music. There's also Jen Porter there. She is a piano player and singer, and she performs almost like parody music, and so she'll sing the songs that you know but puts a spicy twist to them, and she changes up the words, and it's really fun. She's super entertaining, and so there's a little bit of something for everybody. I have no complaints about the music. You could definitely find something that you wanted to. There wasn't like a country place like that you could go to just only for country music, you know, that would be kind
That's
of cool.
not that common, but it would be kind of cool.
It would be like to have like one night that would, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be. One time we went to an event and they had like a country night some of the times, and that was kind of fun. Like, can you imagine like a line dancing night or something, or like for a few hours?
I've seen a cool thing where one thing we went to, they had a smaller room that every single night did a different theme. So it was EDM one night, country one night, or whatever those different themes were. So it would be cool if there was a little room that was like small that did have a different type of music every night. Maybe one night was like jazz music or swing music or, you know, country music or whatever. That would be kind of cool. But I agree with Bella. The music was awesome overall. This is not a necessity. It would be cool, but Naughty has everything else, so it's like, what else could they even add? I guess they could do that, it'd be cool, but the music, awesome overall.
All right, Naughty people. The people who are working on Naughty, if you're happening to be watching this, that's something maybe you can put in the next meeting that you have. Maybe have a separate, like a second speakeasy that's like a specified
music
country.
species?
Yeah.
But it changes music theme every night.
Changes music theme. Good, it's not too big, you know. I just want a line dance. I want a line dance to swinger music.
Staff, absolutely wonderful. The Naughty staff is so good. Everyone helps you to figure out what needs to go on or where you are. I mean, everyone is going above and beyond just to make sure you feel comfortable. There is people working in every section. They all wear these cool purple shirts, and you can look for one of those people wearing the shirts and know you're going to be able to get an answer.
You should talk about why you think it's cool, because I feel like that was so like generalized.
The shirts?
Yeah.
So the shirts I think are really cool because Bob and Tess are the people who made Naughty and Nawlins all those years ago. And there's this really cool artist that made these designs for Naughty this year. And the shirts have a little Bob and Tess on the pocket. I'll put a video in right here of it. And then it has the whole themes on the back of the shirt. And so the shirt art matches the themes of the party. The art style is so cool, and I love the color purple just in general. It really goes with Naughty and Nawlins, and so that's why I think the shirts are so cool, because I think it has like a lot of like history and meaning to it. And I want to say the numbers on they're like riding a tram. I think it even says 6969 is the numbers, if I remember correctly. And so Bella was gifted one of those shirts this year, and she still wears it, and it's really cool.
As someone who's just really into art, graphic design, that kind of stuff, like that was just really, really cool to see. And it almost felt like is Easter egg the right word? Right? Like it kind of felt like finding little Easter eggs.
Yeah. So we'll put a video in, I said, so you can see what the shirt's like. But the staff, though, was overall wonderful, helpful, amazing. All the different people who were like vendor booths and all those things, like everyone he met was also extremely kind. And so couldn't say more kind things about the staff and Bob and Tess and just everyone that puts this event together, because it truly is such a special event.
In addition to it being staffed members and also volunteers, like we said earlier, it's like a collaborative event. So you'll have people who are like podcasters or content creators, and there are sex educators. And so there's just like so many different types of people here, and who are also helping to put on the event and everything. And it's just a really amazing feeling of community and collaboration. And that's another thing that we absolutely love about Naughty Nawlins. It just feels so special. Like, I don't know, like I just really love it.
So now we're going to go into the miscellaneous section, just at the things that didn't know exactly where they fit, but we do think they're important. Bella did slightly mention the shuttles earlier, but I'm going to tell you what the times were. There was a daytime shuttle from 12 to 6, and then they had another shuttle from 8 until 4 a.m., and that was what it was this year. Obviously, that can change every single year, but like Bella said, you might have to wait a little bit on a shuttle, but it is nice to know that if you're going between the Astor and the Nopsey, they do have shuttles. I do not believe that those shuttles went to the overflow hotels, so that's something to think about, but they did have those shuttles which were running, and is so nice because it's great to be able to get back and forth between those hotels, especially if you don't want to walk or it's raining or something like that.
What we liked about staying at the Astor is because we didn't need to leave the hotel to get to like the main party, and that's what we like to spend our time doing, is like staying at the main party. If you wanted to be more at the dungeon, I would definitely recommend to go there. But having the shuttle there where you're able to get on and not have to walk in your clothes, like in your theme outfits and stuff, because you know we're wearing like more risque stuff, and you don't want to get like attention from the people who aren't part of the event, because it can feel kind of scary. Like whenever you're just like walking either like on Bourbon Street or like not surrounded by people who are a part of the event. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going from one place to another and you're in your theme outfit and you don't want to get that attention on you, to have a robe of some sort or like a t-shirt, a trench coat. It would be kind of hot, but I mean like something like that just to cover up, because you just never know. Like I wish, of course, that everybody in the world was respectful and kind, but you'll see that it's not like that once you leave the
into
hotel.
the vanilla world of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Another thing we would recommend, bring an umbrella. We had generally pretty good weather overall. It did rain a couple days. It's almost like, it feels like almost like the rain in the islands to me, where it kind of rains for a little bit and stops and it's humid, but it's great just to have an umbrella in case it rains, especially if you're walking back and forth between the hotels during the daytime.
And I think this also goes into the miscellaneous part. I did mention it earlier as well, but it's really cool that this is in New Orleans. It's in a city that has so much culture and character and so much to do even just outside of the event itself. And so we really like that it's in such a cool city. And so we think that's like a big thing that adds to the event.
And you can always do the thing too, where you come a couple days early, stay a couple days late, and do all those New Orleans things, or, you know, go on a ghost tour or see the city if you've never been to it, because New Orleans is a really special city. And like Bella said earlier, the food.
Oh my gosh, the food.
Some of the best food, I swear.
So in conclusion, I know this was a long episode, lots of information, and it didn't even include every single thing about the event. Again, like we said earlier, just check the schedule from previous years so you can get more of an idea of what's going on. We tried our best to give a good overview and go as in depth as we could without dragging this on for hours and hours and hours. But
there is one way to figure out though, everything. foreplay.com/nawlins, book for next year, come with our group, have fun, see it for yourself.
Also, we did a vlog as well, so if you're wanting to kind of see a little bit more behind the scenes, of course, we can't record people or the parties or anything like that, but if you're wanting to see the playrooms and our experience of, you know, going to eat and having fun, like we did vlog a lot of the trip, and so you can go to our YouTube channel or you can go to foreplay.com/YouTube. It's going to take you there, and we did vlog it, so if you're wanting to see what we did, what our outfits look like, actually what I'm wearing right now, I did crochet for the Mardi Gras theme, so that was pretty fun.
So look out for those, because those should be coming out in the weeks here coming up pretty soon after this video comes out.
We had overall an amazing trip. I don't know if you could tell how much we love Naughty Nawlins from what we said here. Obviously you can, because we just keep going on and on about it, but we had even more fun this year than we did last year, and I can't believe it's only our second time going. I'm like sad that we haven't experienced it more times, you know? Like, so if you are looking for an event that is big and kind of like, we describe this event kind of like a land cruise, because there's so much to do, there's so many people, but you don't have to get on a big ship, because, you know, not everybody wants to be on a boat or a ship. A big, is it a boat? No, it's a ship. Because yeah, when there's like, and being in the middle of the ocean, like with 3,500 people, sometimes up to 6,000 people, like people don't want that all the time. So it's really cool to have an option like this that's literally just like on land, so many fun things to do, so many cool things to see, such a cool city.
So overall, this is one of our favorite events. We absolutely love it. We're excited to go next year already. I said we'd love to have you in our group if you guys want to come. So foreplay.com/nawlins. But overall, wonderful event, and we're just so thankful that we were at least able to experience the last 2 years. Can't wait for next year, but hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little bit of a guide and maybe helps make your decision in seeing if Naughty Nawlins is the right event for you. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below if you guys maybe went this year, or maybe you have a question, or maybe you have something that can help somebody else. Drop that down below. Then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when we post a video, and we will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.